Welcome students, I am your subject matter expert Harshita and I will be telling you certain tips and tricks that you should keep in your mind before your physics examination. In this session, we will understand the pattern of the paper. So this pattern of your physics paper is based on the CBSE sample paper that has been provided to us. It is available on the official website of the CBSE, you can refer that as well. And then we will discuss the important topics that are there in your subject. So your physics is divided into two parts, part 1 and part 2. So CBSE has already provided unit wise weightage. So we will see that so that it will help you understand what all topics you need to cover, which topic holds more weightage. Okay, so we will understand that. Then we will be sharing certain tips that will help you to be exam ready, as in what you need to do if you have your question paper, what you need to do before appearing to the exam, especially in the duration of these 2 to 3 days, what you can do that can ease out your preparation. So before we move ahead, I hope you're clear that your theory paper is for 70 marks and your practical examination is for 30 marks. So practicals are already being conducted in your schools. You will be appearing for the 70 marks paper. Now let us understand the pattern of the paper. See, the entire paper as we discussed is for the 70 marks and the maximum time you will be allocated is 3 hours. However, apart from these 3 hours, you will get additional 15 minutes which are for reading the question paper. We will discuss how you are going to utilize those 15 minutes also. Okay. Then you have 33 questions in the entire paper. Okay. And all the questions are compulsory. See, CBSE has provided internal choice in the paper. But overall you have to attempt 33 questions and the choice are also given. Let's say the choice is there in the 31st question. So in 31st question you will be given the question and the choice question will be following. This next part will give you the choice question. So that is how the choices are provided and then your entire paper is divided into 5 sections. Okay, your section A, B, C, D, E are different 5 sections and they carry different marks. We will discuss that, how much marks is allocated to each section. Then all sections are compulsory. It is very important you understand that you have to attempt all these sections. Choices are internal, they are within the section, within the question. Very important point, calculators are not allowed. Okay, you are not allowed to carry calculators and therefore you need to practice all the calculations when you are doing numericals at your home. What happens in most of the cases that students know the correct formula, they plug in the correct values but they do not reach to the correct final answer. Why? Because they haven't practiced the calculations on their own. Since you are not allowed to carry calculator, kindly practice all the questions with final calculations and final answer so that you are not making mistakes during the exams. Also, in certain questions, especially in the numericals, you require values of certain constants. So, what all constants, the values of which all constant you need not memorize because these constants will be provided you in the question paper itself. So, speed of light, mass of the electron, charge on the electron, permeability of the space, Planck constant, permittivity of the free space and Avogadro number. All these constants will be there in the paper itself. So, you do not need to memorize it. Okay. Now, let us understand the different section of the paper. So, as we discussed, we have 5 sections. In section A, what type of question you will have? You will have multiple choice question, 12 multiple choice question and it will have 4 options. You have to mark the correct option. So, in your answer sheet you will be writing the correct option. Okay. And you have 4 assertion reason question. Okay. Assertion reason question, again it will have one statement for assertion, other statement reason and you will be having 4 options. Just read all the 4 options. Option A will be assertion is correct, reason is correct and reason correctly explains the assertion. Option B is assertion is correct, reason is correct but reason does not explain the assertion. Option C is assertion is correct, reason is false. false. Option D is assertion is false, reason is correct. Okay, so all these 4 options will be there, and you will be having 4 assertion reason based questions. You have to pick and choose the correct option, and your multiple choice question and your assertion reason question is 1 mark each. Then section B, it will have short answer type question, and each question will carry 2 marks. Okay. See, it's very important that you know, if you are having a 2 marker question, it will be a shorter question. You have to finish it in a very short duration of time. Okay. And this section, section B will carry 5 questions. You will have 5 questions. Also in section A, see, this entire pattern that I am sharing with you is based on the sample paper that CBSE has shared with us. 2023-24 sample paper has been shared in the shared on the official site, and we have taken the scheme from there. Okay. However, you have to keep in mind that these choices might vary in the final paper. Okay. Let's say in section A you don't have choice. Okay, as per the sample paper. In section B, you have choice in 1 question only. Okay, you have total 5 questions, and in 1 question they will give you 1 choice. Okay, and each question is for 2 marks. So, you know, most of the question you have to either write 2 or 3 lines, or it will be a short numerical question, or it could be a ray diagram question, it could be a circuit diagram questions. Okay, so these are shorter questions, you don't have to spend much time on it. Then section C, it is also a short type question, but short answer type question, but each question carries 3 marks. Okay, and you have 7 questions in section C. So section C, see, this has how much weightage? This has 10 marks. Section B, section A has 16 marks weightage. Section C has 21 marks. Okay. So obviously you will devote more time to section C, and you will be provided 1 choice. See, here you are provided 1 choice in section C. There might be a case where they don't provide you any choice in section C. Okay. So that you have to look into the paper, and that thing you have to decide within your 15 minutes time. Okay. We will share that thing also. Then section D, very important, is the case study based question. Okay. So in this question you will be given an entire paragraph, maybe a entire scenario will be given to you, some circuit diagram might be given to you, some ray diagram might be given to you, and based on that you will be given questions. So in a CBSE sample paper, each case based question has 4 parts, and 1 mark is allocated to 1 part. So you total have 4 marks. There could be a case where they give you 2 questions. 1 case study might carry 2 questions and 2 marks per question. So that makes 1 case study 4 marker. Okay. So you need to see that thing, how much marks are allocated, that has been clearly given in the paper also. So you have total 2 case study based question and choice within 1 part. Okay. Let's say question number 1 case study based question has question 1, question 2, question 3 and question 4. So in question 4 they will give you 1 question or and the other question. So you will be given choice in the 4th part. Okay. This choice has been given in 1 part. You are not given choice within the, like you are not given choice to go to different question. You are given choice within the part. Okay. That is there in the sample paper. So you have total 2 questions. So 1 question is for 4 marks. This section becomes your 8 marker section. Okay. Then E section, it carries long answer type questions, and each question is for 5 marks. This is very important. This is a very lengthy question. You might be asked long derivation in this question. You might be asked, it might, 1 question can be divided into multiple parts, so that you need to see, but you need to spend a lot of time in this question, in this section, especially section E. Okay. Total number of questions are 3. And this entire section becomes 15 marker section. And you are generally given 3 choices. So you have 3 questions, each question will have choice. In the sample paper they have provided choice in each question. Okay. But this is a lengthy section. You have to write a lot in these type of questions. So be careful with the time limit. Let's discuss the paper attempting strategy. Now, to formulate the paper attempting strategy, you need to know the pattern of the paper. Okay, we've already discussed it has 5 sections, what is the weightage of each section. Now, you've been allocated 3 hours and 15 minutes in total. 3 hours is for writing, 15 minutes is for reading, it's your reading time. So, how are we going to utilize these 15 minutes? They are very important. You don't have to read each question in this 15 minutes, no, that won't help. What you are going to do in this 15 minutes is to read the general instruction, because these general instructions will tell you how many sections are there, what is the weightage of each section, how many choices are there, okay. Any change in the pattern of the paper, if you do have certain possibility, if there is any change of the pattern, that will be mentioned in the instruction, general instructions that are given to you. So, spend 2 to 3 minutes here, then flip the pages and see in each section how many choice question you have. Let's say in section B you have 1 choice question. So, in that 15 minutes read both the choice and decide which question you are going to do. Okay. Let's say you opened section B and there is a choice in, let's say, 17th question. There is one question or a choice question. So, read both these choices and decide which question you are going to select, which question you are going to do. Okay. Similarly, go to the other section, again see the choice question and decide which question you are comfortable in. So, in these 15 minutes, just glance through the paper and see the choice question, so that in those 3 hours you are not spending time in choosing the question. Okay. See, reading the entire paper in 15 minutes, that is little difficult and that won't solve any purpose. Okay. Just roughly see the paper and make a choice of the choice question which you are going to do. Then how to utilize this 3 hours? See, we've already discussed that our section C is the highest weightage section and section E is the next highest weightage. So, my advice is that in this 3 hours, try to attempt section C and section E in your initial hours. Okay, because initially you have lot of energy, right, your mind is fresh. So, you can spend more time here and here. So, try to attempt these sections and then you can go to section A, B and other remaining sections. This is just an advice. If you want to go serial wise, that also you can do. But just be careful that you are spending more time in these 2 sections because they carry higher weightage. Okay. Rest, do all the questions, read all the questions carefully, try to answer them as precisely as possible, but do write whatever is required, do not write unnecessary things. Now, understanding the important topics. See, CBSE as such has not given chapter wise weightage, it has given unit wise weightage. So, this unit of electrostatics and current electricity, this entire units carries 16 marks. Total, combining chapter 1, 2 and 3, these 3 chapters carry 3 marks. Next, your unit 3 and unit 4 carry 17 marks. This is a very, heavy weightage. So, and these are certainly big chapters also. So, these include chapter 4, moving charges and magnetism, magnetism and matter. Then chapter 6, electromagnetic induction, chapter 7, AC, alternating currents. So, in this moving charges and magnetism, it's important that you know Biot-Savart's law, you know the trajectory of the charged particle in the presence of magnetic field, you know the motion or the trajectory of the charge in the presence of electric and magnetic field. You are aware of the Lorentz law, how you are going to apply Lorentz law, Fleming's left hand rule. All those things, Maxwell's right hand rule becomes very important. Then again very important, 2 units, electromagnetic waves and optics. See, optics is a huge unit. You can't afford to leave any of these units, any of these chapters. So, first is your electromagnetic waves. You should know displacement current, important. The concept of displacement current is very important. Formula is also very relevant. Then you should know the 4 Maxwell's equations, right? 4 Maxwell equations should be clear to you. Then the properties of electromagnetic waves, like the how electric field, magnetic field and direction of propagation are mutually perpendicular. The speed, electromagnetic waves move with the speed of light, right? And how is the direction decided if you have electric and magnetic field, right? That thing should be clear to you. Then the spectrum, EM spectrum, right? Which region, which wavelength constitutes X-rays, UV rays, gamma rays, beta rays, alpha rays, microwave, infrared, visible, that should be clear to you. And what are the uses, where are we using these type of rays. Then comes the very important unit, optics. So, in ray optics and optical instruments, you should be clear with the ray diagrams for concave mirror, concave lens, convex lens, right? Telescope is there, refraction is there, reflection is there, okay? And in optical instrument, you have a telescope diagram, how telescope is made, that should be clear to you. Then in wave optics, Huygens principle is important, right? And then in using Huygens principle, how can we explain laws of reflection and laws of refraction, Snell's law, right? From Huygens principle, that becomes important. And in wave optics, all the refraction, reflection, that should be clear to you. Dispersion, dispersion and YDS, Young double slit experiment. In this, certain derivation is deleted, but you should know that for dark fringe what should be the path difference, for bright fringe what should be the path difference, how is the setup of the experiment, that should be clear to you. Diffraction becomes important here, resolving power, okay, condition in the case of diffraction, conditions. Then total internal reflection is also a part of it. So, these topics, they become important. Then the other unit, 2 units, unit 7 and unit 8, dual nature of the radiation and matter. Chapter 11 is dual nature of radiation and matter. So, in this, your photoelectric effect, a very detailed understanding of photoelectric effect is important, okay? And the particle nature, de Broglie wavelength, okay, de Broglie wavelength, you should only know the formula, derivation is deleted from the syllabus. So, de Broglie wavelength you should be aware of, okay. And about photons, one very important formula is E is equals to h nu, or E, energy of the photon is hc by lambda, numerical based on this formula they generally ask you. So, these are simple questions, but they involve calculations, okay, question based on this formula. Unit 8, atoms and nuclei. So, in chapter 12 of atoms, you need to know Bohr's model, you need to know Rutherford scattering, very important, Rutherford scattering, how gold foil experiment, and then how alpha particles move, beta decay, you should be clear with that. In atoms, the structure of the atom, you should be clear of that. Bohr model, as we discussed, you should know that. The qualitative treatment is there, you do not need to know the derivation, but you need to know what is the final formula. So, what is the formula for the energy of hydrogen, of energy for the electron in the hydrogen atom in nth orbit, that becomes important. The derivation is very long, that has been deleted from the syllabus. So, you should be aware of that. Then chapter 13, nuclei. In this chapter, there is a very important concept of mass energy conversion, equivalence, mass energy equivalence, and another topic of binding energy. So, these two topics are very, very important. Numericals are sure shot, and one important graph of binding energy versus number of nuclei. So, this graph which looks like this is also important, that you need to know where is these peaks are coming from, which nuclei are placed on these peaks, that is important. Then a numerical involving binding energy, where you are given mass of the neutrons and protons and mass of the final nuclei, and then you find the binding energy by subtracting them. That numerical is very important, it involves a calculation, so practice that, it is an important topic. Then the entire unit 9 electronic device carries 7 marks. It involves semiconductors, so and electronics, material devices and simple circuit. So in this PN junction, very important. You should know how we do the forward biasing, how we are doing the reverse biasing, that is important. You should know P type, N type. Okay, special type of PN junction are deleted from the syllabus, so you don't need to do LED, solar cells, all this has been deleted, Zener diode deleted. Okay, but very important, you should know the different condition for forward bias and reverse bias. Then electronics, material devices and simple circuit, in this logic gates and all are being deleted. Remaining you can just check transistors are there, how are we using those transistors, PN, PNP transistors, all that are there. So this involved an entire discussion on the syllabus. Next, our topic of discussion is be exam ready. What things you need to keep in mind before your exams. So first important thing is you should make quick revision notes. So how do we make quick revision notes? See, let's say you are doing electric fields and charges. So just write the formula of Coulomb law, write the formula for force, right? Just write 2 or 3 important definitions. So your quick notes involves all the formulas, important diagrams. So you should know the diagrams of electric field diagram for positive charge, negative charge, dipole and definitions. Okay, so your one chapter should come in half or 1 page. Entire chapter is there in this 1 page. You have all the formulas, diagrams, definitions in this. So that you have to make for the all chapters. Okay, so these notes you can revise it even a day before the exam. So just make these quick revision notes, then make concept maps for quick revision. You can try to make concept maps if you are thorough with that. Then revise from NCERT thoroughly, including graphs and figures. So all the figures that are given in the NCERT that are part of your syllabus, you should know, because sometimes it directly asks question from the figure. Okay, understanding of the figures in the graph is very important. Like graphs, binding energy graph, very important. They can ask you question based on that graph. Then question from NCERT, exemplar NCERT question, HOTS question should be, you should be clear. You should practice all the examples of the NCERT, very important. Then do the sample papers within the time limit. So what you should do, that you should prepare your entire syllabus, read all the chapters carefully and then sit for 3 hours 15 minutes and do a sample paper like a real paper. Okay, set the timer, do not use any other reference material and try to solve that paper. Utilize your reading time wisely during the exam. We have already discussed how you are going to use those 15 minutes, and most important, do not panic. If you don't know any question, leave it. Okay, don't get panic. Do not be in a rush that, oh, I don't know this question. Leave it. Maybe after 1 hour, 2 hour, you might, get some idea or some reference for that question. So do not panic, remain calm. Then certain don'ts during the exam. Do not leave any question unanswered. Okay, please do attempt all the question, and to attempt all the question you should read all the chapters. Do not leave any chapter. So, and do not leave any question unanswered. Do not write any irrelevant information, because that will only waste your time. Okay, if you know a question, you know something related to it, write it, but do not write irrelevant things. Do not forget to tick mark your attempted answer in the question paper, so that you know how much questions you have done. And do not skip proofreading. In last 5-10 minutes, just quickly proofread your answer sheet. Okay, all the best students, and do revise, do prepare and remain calm during the exam. Okay, all the best.